As your shape tween exercise, I'd like you to recreate this file that I'm going to demonstrate right now. You can make the size any size you want. I think I made mine just standard size, 550 by 400 as I see over here, with a stage background of a color orange. I'll leave the option for stage color to you, but as long as we can see what's going on our layer. If I point down to the timeline here, I'm just going to indicate that I have a series of keyframes. And if I click on each keyframe, you can see that I've taken that blue ball and moved it. And at keyframe, it looks like 65 here. I've replaced the ball with a star. And I've made that star grow larger over 2 seconds by enlarging it on the next keyframe using the free transform tool. And you can see the little handles there. I'm just going to leave it, but that is the free transform tool for resizing elements. And then I just spanned my frame for another 2 seconds, which you can do by just clicking on a frame that comes next and hitting F5. Okay, so if I go back to the beginning here, my first keyframe has the ball at the bottom, so you'll have to draw a circle with a stroke on it. And then I went 10 frames up, and I keyframed that frame and move the ball over to the left side here. Then I went to the next frame 20. I made another keyframe there, and I placed the ball at the top. And then another 10 frames down, keyframe 30. Frame 30, I keyframed it, placed the ball on the right. So it looks like it's bouncing off the walls. And then on frame 40, I placed it in the middle. And between frame 40 and frame 65 here, it actually transitions from a ball to a star. So I'd like you to do that over about at least a minimum of 1 second, but maybe 1.5 would be better. And 1 second is determined by how many frames per second, so 24 frames would be 1 second. And by the time I get to the next keyframe here, it's a full star. So the way that was created was I created an empty keyframe over here. I drew a star in there, sized it, positioned it, and then made another keyframe over here and increased the size of that star with my free transform tool. And the last frame is a span frame, which we use F5 to generate. And all that does is it holds the contents of that keyframe on stage for that duration, but there would not be any animation here, and that's why it sits still. So if I hit the play button here, you can actually see it in real time. And there we have it. So again, the ball starts at the bottom, bounces off to the left, top, the right, moves to the center, transforms into a star, and then that star grows bigger over 2 seconds, and then sits for 2 seconds. And that's what I'd like you to recreate as your shape tween exercise for me today.